Coming to you from Farmer Dave's Kitchen here in Drake, Massachusetts, I'm Stacy.
I'm Denise.
And we're here to help you prepare your share. Now we come to the beloved Romanesco. I've witnessed CSA members bartering with each other outside CSA pickup locations for vegetables back and forth. Are you gonna eat that Romanesco? It's hysterical. Huh. Some of my favorite names I've heard CSA members and the families call, the kids are adorable with this, are the alien vegetable, the psychedelic broccoli, the freaky fractal food, space age broccoli, and the pyramid cauliflower. I thought that one was pretty good.
That is pretty good.
Well, I had asked him why he was calling it the pyramid cauliflower, and he's like, well, it tastes like cauliflower.
Okay.
I think it tastes more like broccoli, but that's me. Romanesco was thought to have originated in the Lazio region of Italy as early as the 15th century. So this vegetable's been around for a while.
Been around.
Yeah.
So it is in the same family as broccoli, cauliflower, and Brussels sprouts. Yep. One of the coolest characteristics of this vegetable is its algorithmic spiral. Its spiraled buds form a natural fractal. So this means that each bud in the spiral is composed of smaller buds. And I think we're going to show a close-up of this. You guys need to see this.
So you've got your big spiral, and then you have each one of your little buds or florets. And if you look at each one of those, it has a spiral in it, and that is made up of a spiral.
That's incredible.
So the science geek in me is just completely about this vegetable, besides the fact that it tastes really good. Denise and I are both proud Star Wars geeks. When I first met Denise in the farm stand, her cell phone rang and it was Star Wars noises. And I still have my Star Wars figure collection from the 70s, and possibly that Darth Vader had to put them in. So yeah, just a little geeky about this. Now, did you know that Romanesco had a cameo in Star Wars 7: The Force Awakens?
Yes, I did actually.
You did stick that out too? Ray was eating it at Maz Kanata's on Tokodana. I think I said that right?
I think you did.
Now, everyone go and watch the movie again and see if you can find the scene that was in.
And get back to us.
Yeah.
All right, so now for the prep. So let's talk about how to cut this thing apart. This is not difficult if you go from the underside. So similar to a cauliflower or a broccoli. Have a very sharp paring knife, okay?
Correct.
When you flip,
now,
go ahead.
I just thought of something. When you get it, this is probably what it's going to look like. It's going to have all these leaves. Obviously, it's the way it grows, but also it may be in your CSA tote like this because it does kind of protect it. So what you're going to do is when you get it home,
pop these guys off.
Pop these guys off all the way around. And once you do, when you get down to it, that's what you're going to have. You're going to have this stem, and then it's going to be growing out of it.
Excellent.
Okay.
So, sharp paring knife, and when you flip it over, the small stem of the buds become visible, just like this, and you're going to want to slice these one by one.
So I'm going to go cut away from me.
Now, these guys are a little small right now. We wanted to show you the Romanesco, and it's almost a little too early to pick these, so you will see these larger in the farm stand and larger in your CSA.
But see, when I get in there with the point, they're literally falling off. This is...
excellent.
Now, when you get closer to the top, when they're just much too tiny, you're probably going to wind up, even on the bigger ones, when you get up near the top, you're going to wind up with sections like that. So what I do, those are all there. With the sections, if it is big enough, I'll probably make a cut right there. And then this is pretty large to roast in comparison. You want to try and keep the sizes the same when you're roasting, steaming, or anything. Otherwise, some are going to cook quicker than the others, and some may burn and everything. So this one, I'm just going to go in and I'm going to cut it in half.
Okay. Yeah, so take the time to get them the same size.
So they're approximately, we have a few smaller ones, but this is pretty close at this point. So I'm going to put this in a bowl.
These look beautiful.
There you go, madame.
Okay. Now, storing these, if I'm not cooking this today.
Store them like you would broccoli and cauliflower.
Okay.
The same way. You're going to put them in a paper towel lined freezer bag.
Okay.
Keeps the moisture away, but once you cut them apart, even when you don't cut them apart, you really need to use them within 2 to 3 days.
Okay.
Otherwise, they start to go.
So if you're getting one of these in your share, plan to eat it within the 2 to 3 days.
Correct.
Okay, perfect. Now the longer term storage method is going to be similar to the broccoli and the cauliflower. It freezes beautifully. So our blanching method, that's our go-to. So you want to make sure that you're blanching it, dry it well, and then freeze. Depending on the size of the florets, you're only looking at 60 to 90 seconds for your blanch, so it's going to be very quick.
Correct. Romanesco's taste is similar to broccoli. I think the kid I met said cauliflower, so you know. But it's a bit nuttier, and there's so many simple ways to prepare it that the taste of the vegetable on its own is just pretty amazing.
It's really amazing. Okay, so now raw, always an option with a vegetable, of course, and as part of a veggie tray with dippers, so that's an easy go-to.
Yep.
Steam the florets and serve them with butter or mix with some Italian seasoning. You could easily do a simple vinaigrette made with olive oil, a red wine vinegar, a little salt and pepper. That's easy enough to do as well.
You know, you just want to enhance and not cover the flavor of it because that nice little nutty flavor, it's just really delicious. You don't want to taste the dressing and everything else that's on it.
Don't overdo it.
Another good method is to saute it. So if you have these all cut and put in a bag and you come home from work, throw it. Heat up some olive oil in a pan. You can add onion, garlic, and stuff if you want to.
Okay.
And then just put those in and just keep stirring it. You want to get them to the point where they're crisp tender, I would say.
So a little olive oil?
Yeah, for the roasting, this is going to be a little olive oil.
Okay.
So once that's done, as far as the sauteing goes, you're going to do some lemon zest and a squeeze of lemon, and it's pretty delicious. Now, as far as roasting, this is my favorite.
Okay.
My favorite.
Let's do this.
So Denise has put some olive oil on it, giving it a little shake. Now these have a lot of little crevices, so you're probably going to use a little bit more olive oil than you think you
It is
need on
actually really absorbing the oil quite well. Okay, that's good.
Okay, and then we have some salt and pepper.
And again, to taste.
And then, you know, we like the red pepper flakes.
Red pepper flakes.
So give that a little stir. Now you're going to have your oven on 400 degrees, maybe 425, 400, in that area.
Okay.
That way you want to roast them until they get just brown on the edges.
These look great.
Now these are smaller, so I would probably check these in about 10 minutes.
Okay.
The larger pieces from a larger head, you could probably go 15 to 20, maybe shake it around, stir it at that point. You don't want to go too far. This is just to enhance the nuttiness.
Okay.
So parchment lined paper. There we go. Kind of separate them out.
Beautiful.
And then that's going to go in the oven. And through the magic of television,
Ta-da!
we have one that we did. And as you can see, you've got that little bit of brown. It's not a lot.
Beautiful.
But see just the edges, and that just adds, you know, the nuttiness to it.
That's delicious.
Okay?
That looks so
now,
good.
would you like to toss this in there, or would you like to toss it on
You know
top
what,
of
let's
there?
do that on the salad. So we did prepare a little bed of lettuce. It's actually not a lettuce. This is actually a Swiss chard, a rainbow chard.
Great way to use up whatever greens you have in the fridge.
Absolutely.
So if you have lettuce, you have cabbage, you have whatever, use that as your bed.
Use what you have, absolutely. So a little lemon zest, a squeeze of lemon juice. So we actually have some lemon zest here.
And I think when this is roasted, the lemon really brings out the flavor because everything is that roasted deep flavor, so the lemon provides that pop.
That sounds awesome. We do have some nuts, so you could certainly add a few little nuts on here. We can actually have a lemon. Now I'm doing this over my hand so I don't get seeds in the salad. Okay.
That looks good.
That looks delicious.
And your olive oil did roast it, but there's no other dressing on this at the moment. I have some hazelnut oil, and since we sprinkled it with hazelnuts, I'm just gonna do a little, whoops, that was a little bit more, a little drizzle.
That looks great.
Okay, and that is like a fresh nut oil, so that will pop the flavor a little bit more.
That looks really beautiful.
Let's give it a nice shot all by itself. So there you have it. That's how you deal with Romanesco. It would be delicious on anything. I also like it on rice. And when the rice is warm, you can toss the Swiss chard and the Romanesco together, and it wilts the Swiss chard just slightly, and it's like a warm rice salad.
That sounds so good.
It's really, really delicious. So the next time you see Romanesco, don't let it freak you out. I hope we've demystified it. I hope you give it a try and cut it apart and see what the family says. I think it's a pretty cool looking vegetable.
I think it's pretty cool too.
Enjoy.